So here we are in an old part of downtown Vacaville on Main Street, and this is where the bead store is. We're right next door to the Chicago Pizza Company. This is our big neon sign you can look for as you drive down Main Street. It says Beads. Okay, let's go inside. So when you first walk into the store, just so you can kind of get your bearings straight, you'll want to go to your right hand side. We put all of our trays over here by the window, and we have a system of using plastic bags with permanent markers so that you can put as many beads in the bag as you want, and as long as you record the price and the quantity, it makes it really easy when you go to check out. You can see that we have a nice selection here of plated and base metal findings and beads. We have all kinds of gold plated things, charms and beads and clasps and packaged findings, head pins. We also have a gunmetal finish, and we have a silver plated, antiqued silver plated line as well. A lot of our findings are Tierra Cast, which is a really great company very close by to us in Santa Rosa. They make all of their beads with pewter, and then they do some precious metal overlay with antiquing, and everything that they make is nickel and lead free, which makes it really nice for your jewelry. Around on the other side here we have all of our copper and copper plated beads and charms, and a lot of them are antiqued as well, and we have some a small selection of bronze castings and some vintage brass components. Here's some more vintage brass components. We also have a small line of components with rhinestones riveted onto them. They're very nice in bracelets and earrings. We also have filigree with antique brass and antique copper finishes. We carry a lot of vintage. Most people are familiar with that brand, but we also have other brands of brass filigree and brass beads as well. And we have findings, head pins. We have a really cool line of red oxidized torch-fired copper, which is really fun too, and we also carry some enameled copper components as well. These are pretty new. These are some enameled, torch-fired enameled beads that are filigree beads, so they have these really awesome openings in them. Up above from the trays, when you start at the window, you'll see we have all kinds of Asian crystal strands, and then all the way down is glass and stones. We have all kinds of strands of check glass beads. We also have a nice selection of individual beads in their boxes. Everything's all priced out and organized by color. Lots of people comment on how much they like the way we have things organized by color. And then once we get to the end of the glass section, we have a special section here where we have some new components that you can use with resin, where you put in a little collage or artwork in there, and then you can resin over the top of it with a UV curing resin. We carry different brands of UV curing resins. Then we move on into some of our natural beads, coral and wood and shell, and also our semi-precious stones, and we have a big selection of individual semi-precious stones in strands and boxes too. When we get down to the end, We have a big basket of vintage German glass, some really cool shapes and colors that are so saturated you just don't find them sometimes in the contemporary glass. And then we have our tool section, and all our stringing materials are over here as well. We carry a pretty big selection of the griffin silk for pearl stringing, and also can be used for stones and glass. We also have the flex wire that can be used with the crimp beads, and we have all the necessary pliers. We have a nice selection of craft wires, and we also carry some letter alphabet stamps and steel blocks for stamping into sheets of metal. And we have some hammers and ring mandrels. We have a big selection of copper wire that you can buy by the ounce. It's very affordable. Then we have some hemp and another product called Fireline, which seed beaters love. We have some silk cords and ribbons. Another reason that people like to come to our store is we have a lot of really unique finished jewelry by various bead artists from this area. People like to come in and get ideas for the creations that they want to make. And then we also have some reference books, lots of different jewelry and bead books that you can look at while you're here to get some ideas. We also have back issues of Bead and Button magazines and Beadwork magazines. We carry a nice selection of African trade beads and recycled glass as well. Also some brass beads from Ghana. And then we have some hand-cut beads, lots of serpentine, fluorite, and lapis that comes from Afghanistan. We have some tagua nut beads, which are really bright colored beads dyed with vegetable dye made out of the tagua nut. We have one other trophy case toward the end of the store that we carry also a lot of African beads and beads from other countries in here that are really unique. And then we have our gem case, where we have all of our really nice, beautiful gemstones with beautiful faceting, high quality stone beads. We have some things like ruby in here, labradorite, aquamarines. We also have a whole other case where we put all of our sterling silver and gold vermeil beads and findings. And we have tray after tray stacked on each other, so when you come in, you feel free to just ask somebody to look through the beads, because there's so much down here that we can't even see it all. Another thing that we carry that we're really proud to have here is Green Girl. Green Girl is a company who does all their own casting of their own one-of-a-kind designs that they carve from wax. And it's made from fine pewter, so it doesn't have any nickel or lead in it. This is a little bird's head. We have another case here, a little corner case, where we put a lot of our nice big large Swarovski crystals. And then we have some bone beads, carved bone, just little unique odds and ends in here. We have a lot of chain all over the store. We have one case in particular where we keep all our sterling silver and gold filled chains. And then we have all kinds of other chains that are plated chains, plated over brass, more affordable options. but that have really nice consistent finishing. And then we have really cool stuff like this, like leaves hanging from the chain. We have some pre-made chains that are made with wire and some glass beads. And then we have these chunky vintage type chains that are really big right now. We also have a nice selection of check glass buttons. A lot of these are reproduction buttons, but they are made from old vintage molds, so they have that nice old-fashioned look to them. And we have them all on cards to make it easier to look through, but we do sell all of our buttons individually. Over here on the other wall, we have a nice big selection of Swarovski crystal bicones. We have 3mm, 4mm, 6mm, and some 8mm bicones in all kinds of colors that Swarovski carries. They're the sparkly ones. And then up above the crystals we have all of our seed beads, organized in tubes and bags by size and shape. And there are so many different types of seed beads, but we organize them by colors. We have the hanks of seed beads that are strung, and then we have a lot of the Japanese beads in the tubes. Down below the seed bead area we have some threads in different colors, different brands of threads. And then we have some really nice lucite beads that are really popular right now. They're great for the spring. They're really bright colors. Then we have a whole nother freestanding unit of more check glass beads. These are beads that we take on the road with us when we do bead shows, but we put them out during the months when we're going to be here at the store. We also have some really nice copper beads that are very similar to the styling of Bali silver, but they're made out of pure copper. So they're a very nice alternative to silver now. We have a nice selection of lampworked beads. Some of them are made here in the States, and others are made in the Czech Republic or in Italy, like these really cool millefiori beads, which are probably vintage. And then we have some really nice Czech lampwork beads too, from the Czech Republic, that have a lot of them have foil inside of them, so they're real glittery. On your way out, be sure to check our calendar. We keep a calendar here of all the basic classes that are going to be happening during the month. We also have schedules that you can take with you of all of our basic classes, and they're also listed online on our website. We're going to be offering them monthly. And then we have some free bead patterns too, of things that we made photocopies of that we're going to switch out monthly. You can always come by and just pick up a couple free bead patterns of things to try out. We even have a nice big work table where you can come and work on your projects. We have a station here with all kinds of pliers and tools and stringing materials that people might need. And you're welcome to bring your beads down and sit down and just have fun and be social and make something really cool. Here's another freestanding unit that we have all of our Czech fire polish beads on, organized by sizes, and we have 5mm, 6mm, we have 4mm Czech fire polish beads. And then on the other side of this triangle, we have all the little 3mm ones. We also have a lot of display cases around the store that just have unique things in them, so be sure to look in all these little places too. Some finished jewelry, glass beads and ceramic beads, some resin donut beads. Some amber beads. Here's a little table where we keep all of our freshwater pearl beads. We have lots of strands of freshwater pearls in really pretty fun colors. Here are some more strands of stones and pearls that we have mixed in little color families in these trays on this table. Some people really like to be able to look at things together so they can think about what they might put with a certain stone, what color they might mix together. Here's some copper beads, some more copper beads. So now that we've given you a little sneak preview, a mini tour of our store here in downtown Vacaville, we hope that you will come and check us out. We are again on Main Street in downtown Vacaville, the old part of Vacaville. The best way to get to Main Street is off of the 80, Interstate 80. You would take the Davis Street exit. Thank you so much for looking at our store.